Oh, there's a fish on. What have we got pumping? No, baby, let's go. And that's why I should have packed up when I said I wanted to. Hey everybody, just want to say thank you for tuning into another video here with Catching Outdoors. My name is Matt. This video is going to be a two-part series. The first part of this, I took my dad fishing out on the Action Craft 1810. It was a little bit rougher conditions than we were originally expecting based on the forecast, but we had a great day out there. So show you guys a couple of the highlights from that trip. And the second half of this is back to a nice surf fishing trip. We used a ton of different baits on both of these trips. A lot of big stuff. We're trying to really get on something big. My dad's never caught a shark, as I hinted in the last video. So that's ultimately what we're trying to get on day one. My dad wasn't there for day two. That was just me fishing. So stay tuned. Enjoy the video. If you do, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. It greatly helps out the channel. I really want to continue spreading a positive message about fishing, hopefully encouraging some younger kids to get out there, get away from all these video screens, and just enjoy nature outside, get one with it, and really just slow down the pace of life. It seems like everything these days has to happen way too fast. I think fishing's a great way to reset those expectations and really just think about all the things that you're grateful for in life. Day one, we put the boat in at Pompano Beach boat ramp up in St. Augustine, Florida. I like using this boat ramp anytime I plan on doing any nearshore offshore fishing, as the inlet is about a 2-minute run after putting the boat in and getting everything rigged up. So really easy access to the ocean. The forecast was looking wonderful today, a little bit cloudier than I would have considered ideal, but the ocean was supposed to be 8-inch wave periods and only a 1-foot swell. But as soon as we get to the mouth of the inlet, you guys can see on the screen now, it was nowhere near that forecast. Yes, close to the inlet, it's always going to be a little bit worse than getting out, but it stayed consistent this way in terms of 3 to 4 second wave periods and probably 2 to 3 foot swells. Nowhere close to the forecast. Comfortable enough in the boat, but it was definitely on the edge of turning around. But felt safe enough to stay out there. We ended up finding a couple schools of bait right outside of the inlet. There was a couple other boats on it. Some were cast netting to be able to run out to the reefs a little bit deeper. Since we were staying near shore and really just looking to get on some game fishing close, I was throwing a silver spoon, and my dad ended up picking up a gold spoon shortly after this. We didn't have any luck in this spot, so we ended up moving on after about 10 minutes of throwing on a couple different pods and seeing if we couldn't get away from the other boat traffic. Nobody had caught anything, so I felt pretty confident there was no bigger prey items around. So found a little bit of another pod, only about 2-minute boat ride away, and was tossing a sabiki rig and forgot to close the snap swivel. So as soon as I got tension off, and that sabiki rig was lost to the ocean, including the 3-ounce pyramid sinker. So it's one of those rookie mistakes that sometimes you gotta make them. Here we picked up and ran again. We were just running along the coast, trying to see what we could find. In terms of bait pods or birds diving, and eventually found a spot that I felt pretty confident on. So we put out 5 different rods that we were just trolling. One of them had a weighted 6-inch mullet. Another one had a 12-inch mullet that I'd cut in half, so it was bleeding nicely into the ocean and chumming it up a little bit. And then we had a couple different spoons that were set out as well. So we trolled around for about 45 minutes, I would say, without much of anything. We did end up having one of the mullets bit in half, but the fish had unfortunately missed the hook. Here we decided to head back in. Conditions were getting worse and worse, starting to rain. So we were escaping a couple rain pockets, but just heading through the inlet. Again, got nice and choppy, but as soon as we got through the worst of it, we were able to run around into St. Augustine. So we were heading to the Bridge Alliance, as you can see here. These columns can usually hold a bunch of fish. Unfortunately, just over to the right, that's where the channel is, and there's the most structure for the bigger redfish to sit on. That was already fully occupied on both sides. There was about 6 boats fishing that. So unfortunately, we couldn't squeeze our way in there. We decided to fish some of the columns instead. Here I'm just slowly sneaking up on the bridge with the trolling motor, and we're going to put the spot lock on it. And we're going to be using the same bait that we were using out deeper, so we're just going to use that chunk of mullet as well as the other one that had the X-Sinker on it. So here's the X-Sinker. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get into, the current's ripping, so I'm trying to get right in between both of the columns so it will actually stay in there. Because of the vortex that's being created when the water gets pulled back in. And then here's the other chunk, which this one's weightless, quite heavy, but same concept. Just get it tossed in right next to that column and let it sink down to the bottom. Had no luck once again. I sat here for about half an hour. Weather kept getting worse and worse. We decided just to head back. So we caught a little bit of live bait out there. Nothing really worth doing anything with. Here we're just running back through the intercoastal channel, back to the boat ramp. And I have to say I left the last clip in because my dad was fairly impressed with the docking skills, so it's always nice when you get some compliments from the old man himself. It goes a long way to building some some confidence in your boating abilities. And yeah, just it's always fun to see. So we had an absolute blast out on the water together. Wouldn't change it for anything in the world. Getting 4 hours with my dad, just chucking around in the water, having some fun, and sharing stories and talking about life and all the great things that we both have going on was just very incredible. Hey everybody, we are down fishing Varn Park today. It is around 10 o'clock, just past high tide, so we're fishing a slight outgoing. We got 4 rods, so we're about to cast the 4th one in. Those 3 are rocking Pompano rigs with some fish bites on them. We're going to go ahead and try to catch some sand fleas here in a second. Our last rod going out is going to be about a 12-inch mullet. Hopefully we have a 3-ounce pyramid sinker, so that should be enough to hold it. Running a Carolina rig. So we're going to get this one out just past the surf zone and hopefully get a big shark on, just to try a little bit of different stuff today. Woohoo guys, the sand fleas are back now. It's been a struggle for the past couple of weeks after the big winds that we had here on the east coast of Florida. But now that it's settled a bit, beach has gotten back, bait's gotten pushed back in. Looks like the fleas are back, and we might be able to do some good damage here. Guys, I don't know if you can see that. There's one literally in the process of molding right now. I have never seen that before. Look at that. You can literally see it coming out of its shell. It's slowly making its way out. So this is just like any other crustacean. They have to shed their shells every once in a while. So we're actually going to get a nice soft shell sand flea on this. Might be able to pick it off and show you guys. Yep, there it is. So this is as fresh of a soft sand flea as you can possibly get. We'll go ahead and get them on one of the hooks. Fish should be loving this. Alright, so now we're rigged up on the Pompano rig with some live sand fleas. Alright guys, right now, because of how coarse the sand is here, when I'm using the rake, I'm actually holding it just above the sand and just letting all the sand fleas roll right into it. Because otherwise it's not, because the sand is so big right now, all the shells, it's not actually clearing out when I'm otherwise raking it. You can see how many shells are still stuck in there in between all the sand fleas. We do have to keep an eye out for the clouds. It's a bit gray all around. We have a nice opening right where we're at, but definitely just want to keep a close look on the sky. Florida is one of those places where the weather turns incredibly fast. Oh, there's a fish on. Let's see, is it still there? That's definitely a strike. Not feeling any weight on right now though. No, there's nothing on. But definitely a strike on the rod. Oh, there's a fish. Was a fish at least. Now there's something there. What have we got? Pompano, baby. Let's go. Looks a little short. Oh, and he's off the hook. Pompano, baby. Gotta be 11. Let's see. Came up just 9.5 on the fork. But beautiful fish. Let's get him back in the water. Look at that. Beautiful guy. Let's get that other rod back out. Pompano usually come in schools. So if you get one, make sure you keep your rods out there. Keep an eye on them. Pray that the next one's bigger. I know that last rod down at the end looks like it's going absolutely nuts. It's just because I don't have a heavy enough weight on to hold that mullet down. So it is just bouncing around with the waves right in the surf. The shark might come by all the way on the shoreline and eat it. So we'll leave it out there. It's already washed up actually. So we'll have to cast it back out. Let's get this rod out. Short one, go as far as we can. Which isn't very far. Wind's picking up, it's getting a bit gray. No lightning though, so that's a good thing. It looks like the worst of the weather's already past us. A bunch of rain hitting just north. So coming here today instead of going up to Matanzas Inlet, definitely the right decision. On a weather standpoint. Let's see how we're doing here. We're missing 2 out of 3 fleas, and I think the center one there that's still attached is missing the guts. Let's see. Oh, that's completely intact with X and everything. So 2 fresh ones. You can really see on the one camera here that's on the beach cart how bad the weather is out in front of us. We've gotten very lucky to escape it. It's almost clear above us, but all that gray just came right by just to the north. And you can just see that wall of rain out front. Probably would have been perfect being here about an hour or 2 earlier. As mentioned, we came right at high. So it's outgoing right now, and the waves are definitely picking up, which could work in our favor. It could stir up some more bait for the fish, but usually you want to fish that incoming, especially on this beach where it's high erosion. But you never know. I mean, we just got the one pompano. Needs to be a little bit bigger, but that means they're still biting. We got some really dark stuff back there now. think we're gonna go ahead and just throw one new batch of bait on. And then probably pack it up. I don't want to risk getting stuck out here in some in a lightning storm. It's just not worth it. All right, everybody, go ahead and stay tuned. What we're gonna do, just because the weather's getting rough out here now, it's starting to rain, heavy winds, and there's inbound lightning. We're gonna bring some of these lovely sand fleas home and probably cook them a couple different ways and see how they come out. So stay tuned for that. I'll give you guys my honest review whether or not it's worth it. I know plenty of other YouTubers have done this. I don't necessarily always buy it when people say it tastes good, so I just want to give it a shot for myself. I got no skin in the game, guys. We're just out here trying to have some fun, trying to eat some good food. These are easy to source. They'll be high protein. Hopefully they taste just like a blue crab, but it should be a very, very clean source of protein considering they're sitting out in the open ocean, and filter feeding every bit of fresh ingredient that comes in for them to eat. So stay tuned. And that's why I should have packed up when I said I wanted to. Ocean is looking beautiful though, but we're the last man standing here on the beach. Usually not a good sign when nobody else is fishing the area. I mean, sometimes you get lucky, but I would say when it's a pretty popular beach like this to fish on most days, if you're here by yourself, the bite's probably not going to happen statistically. Yes, there's still fish. You'll still get the occasional bite here and there. But like we saw today, we showed up late. Everybody has packed it up since. Some of them I'm sure due to weather. Most of them probably because of the tide, because the weather was still decent when they started packing up. So huge shout out to Ressa. The last surf fishing video I posted, you commented that you can pick up 100 of these for about $4 at Walmart. Took you up on it. Absolute space saver. Keeps them very, very organized. Even in that big tackle box I had, the line will still come out, get tangled with each other. These keeps it nice and tucked away. So appreciate the feedback. Always up for tips, guys. Aha, look at that. Didn't even realize we had something on. Tiny little whiting. That is crazy. That thing's probably been on there for a while. Why don't you go ahead and get him in the cooler? I mean, I know he's on the very small side, but we'll fry him up next to some of the sand fleas and do a little fish platter. Not a size I'd usually keep. He's probably 8 inches, but fun little fish. Bottom feeding, as you can see with that mouth right there all the way down. So they just swim around the bottom of the beach, and we'll look for sand fleas that have gotten turned up or any other food. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Taste absolutely delicious. Again, this one's on the smaller side, but let's cook them up with the fleas and see what happens. I always love how it works. So as soon as we get everything packed up, conditions change and it's absolutely beautiful outside. Yeah, so see, nice and sunny, and ocean's still a little rough, so probably not a bad idea that we packed up, but nothing gray around. Just yeah, pretty conditions. Regardless, I'm kind of timed out for the day. Got a couple other things to get done, so still would have been packing up. Weather just kind of helped expedite that decision a little bit. But let's get back into the kitchen. I know I said that once before. This time we have all the reels in. So I'll see you guys when we're cooking up some sand fleas. Alright guys, so we're back. We have our teensy little whiting here that we're going to go ahead and leave whole, fry it up. We're just going to gut it and then cut some slices on it, probably toss a little bit of Old Bay. And then we have our sand fleas here in the fish bites bag. We're going to throw them through a colander, rinse them out real good. These things are constantly peeing, so you want to make sure it's very clean. All the shells, obviously all the seashell, just get that off. So we'll get that process going, and then I'll show you guys how I'm going to cook them up. All right, so the sand fleas we're going to get started on first. Pour them into the colander. You can see they're still nice and lively. We want to get all the shells out and off of them, and just get them cleaned up a bit. All I'm going to do, I'm just going to run them a bit just to get some of the salt from the salt water off. And any sand that might have gotten stuck in their bellies. And after we've done that for a little bit, we'll go ahead and pick them up one by one, throw them into a different bowl, and then we'll get them seasoned up. Alright guys, so we have them all cleaned up. All of them nice and alive. So we'll go ahead and get some seasoning on. We've been preheating a pan over here. We're going to keep it simple today. We're just going to do some Old Bay. Get them tossed a bit in there. I don't like to overdo the seasoning, so just a light coating of it. We'll definitely be able to taste the Old Bay in it, but it's not going to overpower whatever flavor these sand fleas do have. While we wait on the pan to get all the way up to temperature, we're just going to go ahead and clean this whiting out real quick. All I'm going to do, he's a little stiff from the cooler, which is perfect, but we're going to go ahead and start by descaling it. So just you can run the back of your knife on it, or in this case the front. As long as you're angling it correctly. Usually the back is a little bit better just so you don't cut into it. But this knife is not the sharpest, so it doesn't matter too much. And I'm only descaling this fish because we're cooking it whole. Usually if I fillet fish, I don't bother with this step because obviously you're cutting the skin off anyway. So having the scales on there doesn't actually impact anything. Make sure you get the bottom as well. Some people forget about that. Bottom and the sides. Get as close up to the head as you can. That's it. We'll go ahead and rinse it off. Usually you don't want to get fresh water on your saltwater fish, on the meat at least, because this guy's still whole. It doesn't matter. None of it's actually going to get into the meat. To clean it, all we're going to do, get right there in the little anal opening, run a knife up as close to the skin as possible. We really don't want to get in there and damage any of the intestines. That way we can keep it a little bit cleaner. Once you've sliced it up, you can go ahead and spread it apart. And then you can just take your fingers and dig out all of the guts. After you've done that, you want to run it underneath the sink a little bit, get that bloodline out. If you just run your finger all the way against the back spine, that way you can get all of the guts and that bloodline. And all we're going to do now, we're going to score the fish a bit. So just open that skin up. Which will just allow us to get the seasoning in there nice and good, get the meat flavored. And then we are just going to give a light coating of Old Bay here as well. Our pan's nice and warm. We're going to put a little bit of oil in on the bottom. What that does is just keeps the butter from burning. And then what you want to be careful with, since we're cooking on oil here, and the sand fleas are full of water, it can start to pop. So just either be ready for that. and know that you have to get out of the way, wear long sleeves, or have one of these fancy little nets that you can put over the pan as you're cooking just to catch any of that spray. Got our sand fleas, start throwing them on there. Get that pan covered up, you can hear them already start to sizzle. Gonna lower the heat a little bit to just kind of a medium low. So 30 seconds in, they're already starting to get nice and pink, just like you would see on shrimp. Again, they are just a crustacean, so nothing really special about them. They don't seem as meaty as a lot of other crustaceans, which is the one hesitation I have. It might just be a very, kind of like a chip texture, so it might be a good side to have with fish. But I don't necessarily expect these to be one of those things that I would just eat on its own. I was actually expecting a bit more smell to these. It's not anything that's bothering me at all. Seems very little. So unfortunately the cooking part got cut a little bit short here. My wife and kids ended up coming home right as I was wrapping up cooking the sand fleas and about to get the whiting on the pan. I did continue to cook, but just because of the screaming in the background and having to help out with them, I got a little bit distracted and didn't focus too much on the content. Whiting turned out absolutely incredible as always. Super nice white fish. Got the bones picked out. Since we had a hole, the meat just comes right off. Just ate the skin on it because it's thin enough. Once you fry it up like this, it gets a little bit of a crispiness to it. So it actually complements a slightly mushier meat a little bit better. Whiting don't have that like thick, flaky meat. It's a little bit mushy, not as bad as sea trout, nowhere near how bad ladyfish is. But not those firm baked flakes that you're used to seeing in bigger grocery store fish. Sand fleas, on the other hand, not for me. Just not terrible, but not something I'm going to do in the future. If I was in a survival situation, would I eat them? 100%. I'd probably really enjoy them at that point. You definitely have a little bit of that crab flavor to them, as I was expecting, but they're really just overpowered by the amount of shell that's in there. Plus I get a little bit of that kind of gut tasting to them as well, that the Old Bay just wasn't able to cover up. So something I'll do again? Absolutely not, unless it's a life or death situation, or if I'm just out camping. Maybe it's one of those things, if you get an open fire going, go ahead and roast them up, get a little bit of char on them, and at least get some protein and some calories in. Honest review, just yeah, I wish I would have had it here, but again, kids came home and lost a little bit of focus. Had it fresh off the pan, so it's not like it was sitting either. Just not for me, guys. But really do appreciate you guys checking in on this video, watching it all the way through. As mentioned earlier, liking, commenting, and subscribing is the best way to help this channel grow, and really just spreading that positive message about fishing. So appreciate it. Thank you.